Well, hello. That was fun. My video just started videoing on its own. It gave me a 3, 2, 1 countdown and just began. Well, that's cool as hell. Good morning. Jen's Dirty Dishes on duty. I decided to finally show you my fancy omelet. Not the lazy omelet, the frittata from last week, but the actual omelet. Thanks to my friend David, who I used to work with. Oh, yes, I did get new glasses. Thank you for asking. He always got omelets from the local deli in the place we worked. And he taught me that caramelized onions, I don't know if any of you, anyway, caramelized onions are the best thing in an omelet. So we're going to throw some, we got some pan lube. I'm going to throw some onions down. I like them kind of blackened. I really like it. I don't know how many of you saw my other platforms where I made a joke about never cooking braless on a open gas stove. It leads to crispy chicken McNipples. So yes, I have a bra on today. Actually, having a good bra day. Okay. So, about a small handful of onions and some of that lovely pan lube. And then I have my other ingredients. I actually prepped my workstation for you guys today. I was thinking of you, and I don't have a very big workstation anyway, so I pre-did this. I'm like getting, professional. Anyway, these are the ingredients of my omelet. The thing I love about omelets is that you can literally change it up. I could have done ham, mushrooms. I could have done bacon, mushrooms, peppers. If I had some fresh spinach, I would throw that in there with a sun-dried tomato and a feta. Really good. But we're just doing this today. Prepped my fancy cutting board, also known as the dish I'm going to eat the omelet from, so I do less dishes because I fucking deserve it. Before I do all that, while the onions are getting what I call Cajuned, which just is a term for blackened, I'm going to let my dogs out. I don't know if you'll see them or not, but they've been having some digestion issues. So I'm going to give them their breakfast today, and I'm going to put a couple scoops of pumpkin puree on the dry dog food. It helps with their digestion. I'll be right back. Here are these my special yum yums. My special yum yums. Okay. Let me show you my dogs. I can set this back up. Surely I can. Switch. Hello, Miss Gracie Allen. Hello, Roxy Hart. How are you? You guys want your special yum yums? Okay. And we're back. Thank you for that commercial break. Okay, so I'm just going to scoop a little bit on here. They've been having some diarrhea problems, so we're just going to get that fixed up for them. Kind of like that. Oh, here goes. And hopefully they'll gobble that all down. If you hear me moaning and groaning a lot today, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. But yesterday we got, this stupid thing still is not acting up. It needs Viagra. It needs to get a stiffy. We got a new dog kennel yesterday. It's really nice. It looks like a piece of furniture with the kennels and even a little dish drawer for their water and their food, and like little storage drawers up above. It's gorgeous. It's going to go at the end of our bed, which is where the dogs sleep. And yeah, did those things yesterday. So bending, stretching, trying to put this humongous thing together. I'm a little sore today. Not as sore as my brother from a heavenly mister, Steve Snook. Years ago, we were working out in the garage, the driveway, etc. I think we were cleaning up the garage because that's a constant thing, because everybody trashes our garage. It never puts anything back where it belongs, especially when the boys were little. This is all going in now. More lube for the meat. Dogs are woofing down that puree. Anyway, Christopher was winding up one of Dad's long extension cords. And I'm sorry if I've mentioned this before in my videos. You just have to listen to it again. And I have some new people, so welcome. This is my life. Raw dogging it the whole way through it. Christopher goes to whip out the extension cord, and he broke physics. In other words, he did something anti-science. By all means and purposes, that extension cord, by all things science, physics, etc., should have continued straight. Now the dogs are going nuts, probably because my grocery order is here. And I'm pausing. Okay, we had to push pause again. Dogs were going nuts. Anyway, the extension cord should have gone straight. At the same time, parked in the street and coming up the driveway to visit with us. Well, for a short time he lived with us. I don't really remember why he was there. Probably visiting. The extension cord was going straight past Steve until it got to Steve. And then for some glitch in the matrix, the extended, Steve's here. We all know he's a boy, so we know that's here. The extension cord goes boop, and keeps traveling. Steve dropped. We may have lost him a nutsack. Not sure. Didn't really stick around long enough to find out. I had to run to the bathroom because I pissed my pants. I literally pissed my pants laughing. Truth. Other nut injuries, testicular injuries that have occurred on our property. So many. At one time, one of our extra kids, you heard me mention in another video that I have bonus children, bonus grandchildren, I call them my extras. Brian Clay was over, and all of the guys, we're talking Christopher, Michael, Brian, Tanner may have been there, not sure. Go ahead and just beat these eggs like you finally found the baby daddy where he was hiding and he hasn't paid a lick of child support, and this is what you want to do to him. Continued prayers for my family tomorrow, by the way. Thanks. So go ahead and just do this a few times. Beat it. Beat it. Okay, sorry. Ryan, so all the kids were like in their little hiding spots, like they're on some military mission. Shout out to the 101st. One's up in the boat, one's on the stairs. Owen's in the garage, just cleaning. But he did happen to have an airsoft gun by him. They were all airsofts. Airsofts are little plastic pellets shot out at a pretty strong PSI. That's air movement. Yeah, so they're going for it, and they're in different positions, and you can tell the trajectory of how it's going to go. And like if you got hit where it hit, you can tell who shot the gun. Oh, that worked. Owen very quickly, of quick draw McGraw here. Took the gun, shot in the direction of Ryan, put it back here real quick. Went back to cleaning or whatever. Nailed Ryan. Right in the junk. But Ryan couldn't understand where it came from because Dad's just cleaning. He doesn't even have a gun near him. So he thought. So, we used to have a lot of fun. We still do. Alright. That's all looking shiny and hot. So I'm going to drain it a little bit. Cuts down on the grease coming from that pork sausage a little bit. That is just a breakfast sausage that we had yesterday with our eggs cut up, used here. So it's a really great way to use up leftovers, save on food costs. One thing I am a lover of is the grocery store Aldi's. I get my groceries delivered through a thing called Instacart. And the food savings that I get from Aldi's more than quadruple pays for my annual membership to Instacart. As I said before, I work with the general public and most of them are assholes. I don't want to go out on my day off and deal with assholes in Walmart or wherever. I just don't want to. So I get the stuff delivered. I fucking deserve it. I got a new job. I got a promotion last month. I was fired for 5 minutes for doing the right thing. And then I was promoted. So I think I've mentioned that before, but it still boggles my mind. So when you're cooking your eggs, you're putting it in here. It is down on like a low. Not low. Like my dials are numbered. I have low, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This concoction I'll cook at about a medium to medium high to get it good and yummy. Then the eggs, I turn it down to about between a 2 and a 3. And what I'm looking for here is cooked egg. And then what I like to do is I like to ultimately take the top, which is uncooked, and move it to the bottom. No, I don't flip it. I run it up the edges. That's why I have this lovely pan. It's a great pan for this. I like my omelets really thick and fluffy. I don't necessarily like the tri-fold method that you see a lot of restaurants doing where it's really thin and they fold it just like boom, boom. That's it. I don't like it. Mine looks like a giant Pac-Man. And I always have leftovers. There's half-eaten omelets in the refrigerator right now that I could have just heated up, but I did this for you all. So when I run it up the sides, the pan, it cooks everywhere. Cooks on the bottom, cooks on the sides, so the eggs are cooking up the sides as I run it up. And then as it cooks, it's creating, the stuff is stuck inside. What you do is you just, I got a little bit of onion there. It's onion, okay. I hope you can see this because I really don't want to move my ring. You just push it in. You use gravity. So I'm tilting my pan all around. I'm essentially doing exactly what I said, and that is moving the top uncooked part of the eggs to the bottom. And I'll just continue to go round, and do this. One more story from my family's past. When I say we do a lot of home improvement projects, that would be an understatement. We always have, we always will. We can weld, we can torch, we cut wood, we build things, we do stained glass. I mean, Owen's got a massive shop. And a lot of times, there's a lot of big noises that come out of the shops. If we drop an acetylene tank, it's like a gigantic oxygen tank that's taller than I am. I know, that's not saying much. Fuck off, all of you. but you know, we make noises. Well, some weather was coming in. We were all out, and there was a giant explosion. And our neighbors, the wine millers, came running over, assuming it was us and checking on us, as good neighbors do, when in actuality, a squirrel, it wasn't a storm, it was a squirrel. A squirrel chewed through a transformer, one of those boxes up on the utility lines, got into it, exploded, fried squirrel. It was a funny sight. I want to tell you, it was like, so anyway, it's not always us. Okay, 80% of the time it's us, but this one time it was Mr. Squirrel. All right, I'm gonna put this in here like so, and then we're gonna see if I'm gonna have a good day or not. I usually call this my fortune-telling omelet, whereas if it folds over perfectly and ends up gorgeous and just, you can hear the fluffy when you dump it out onto the plate, you know it's going to be a good day. Got some Colby Jack, finely shredded, so it melts faster. The more surface areas an item has, the faster it will cook or melt. There's your science tidbit today. I started off with a physics lesson, and now we're going to areas of surface and how it's affected. All right, we're gonna squish that down. I have a feeling I put too much stuff in this omelet, and this omelet is not gonna be pretty, but we're gonna try it anyway. My good spatula is in the dishwasher. Nice thing about adding so much cheese, dairy products act as glue in food. All that yumminess. So even if you have a little tear, like a little rip, you know there's cheese in there that will seal it up if pressed down on it. So you can correct the boo-boo that you made. So I'm gonna just hold this here for a minute because it's trying to protest. I like to clean as I go. So you'll see me do that a lot. But what you can hear, try it, watch me fuck it up. See that? That's nice. That's a pretty place to be right there. Now the only downside of a pan like this with the tall sides, you can't just flip it out. On a fluted, let me show you. On this kind of pan, you definitely can. It just slides right out. This one, I have to have my little helper. And this thing is bigger than my plate, by the way. And part of it broke and all that. So, I mean, it's not a total mess. Actually, it's turning messier as it sets. But anyway, this is literally something I eat every single day. If I don't have time to make one for myself, I get one from my local diner. Shout out to Paul and Jackie's Country Kitchen Diner. And thanks for watching and subscribing and following on TikTok, on YouTube at Jen's Dirty Dishes. Thanks. Bye.